We'll call this meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission to order. First order of business is approval of last month's minutes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second. Any objection to approval of the minutes? Not, they stand approved as read. And that'll lead us to our next little item that we need to have someone doing minutes for our meetings, as we're without a secretary right now. So do we have a solution for a suggested solution, or?
We do not have any formal solutions, no. Anybody can do the minutes from watching.
I will do
rewatching.
the minutes.
Thank you.
I can do it again as well.
No, I can. I'll rewatch though, if that's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. We have that item taken care of. Okay. So we'll move right along. We have the Parks report from Guy.
Yes. This month we spent a lot of time on our landscaping, getting everything winterized. It takes about 3 weeks really to get over everything winterized, since we're getting such a lot more landscaping. So we finished mowing for the season. All native areas have been mowed down for the season. Pretty much winterized all of our buildings. They're all winterized now, and soccer fields, all the equipment's put away. We did have to remove a little bit of snow already on November 26th, so we have spent a lot of time getting all of our snow equipment on, kind of shuffle equipment around. Or there's spring, summer stuff we put to the back of the shed now and bring out the snow equipment. Had to do some repairs on that. It's just kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to snow removal. It's hard on equipment. Park staff attended ornamental turf and pest management applicators. It's continuing education. It's so we can maintain our state certified pesticide herbicide licensing. We do that once a year. I've attended a few meetings. City admin building construction, which the city admin buildings come along quite well. I think they're pretty close to being on schedule, so hopefully we'll have an opening this spring. Also attended the Centennial Park Next Stage. There's been a few meetings on that. Still planning with that. The Fox Run Park Pond Trail Project, that's where the playground is going. That has gone out to bid, and we just received bids back 2 days ago and awarded a contract that was way under, the bid was way under what they expected on that. So that's good.
You don't get to say that often.
No,
Yeah.
no, exactly. We had 10 contractors submit bids.
Oh, good.
Which was really good. So.
Good.
Speaking of that, the playground for Fox Run Park has been ordered.
Nice.
So part of the stipulation with this bid for the contractor was with the concrete, the trail and everything, is to get that playground border in by a certain date, because I have the playground contractor coming in. I think it's August 27th, I believe, to come in and start doing that. So hopefully the trail project and the playground project should be completed somewhat pretty close together, so we can hopefully have a grand opening out there. Let's see. The Penn Meadows parking lot, the north parking lot, is for the most part completed. The sod was put down. We did a lot of the grading out there. Landscaping has been completed. We installed a new monument sign, which is very similar to the one at Centennial Park.
That's nice.
We weren't planning on replacing that sign. There was a monument sign there prior, but we noticed it was going to have to be moved for this parking lot project. And there was money in there to have it moved, but when we inspected, there was a big crack down the middle of it. So we figured it probably wouldn't survive a move. So we took the money that was to move it, and we were able to purchase a new monument sign. So, but anyway, it looks a little different. It's more in line with Centennial Park. So it's kind of a more of a destination park, formal park sign. So if you happen to go out there, we can take a look at that. Let's see. The Parks Department did pretty much all the planning on the old Casey's. If you happen to notice, the old Casey's is
Yeah,
down
it's
now.
huge.
So
Finally down.
Amazing.
yeah.
No kidding.
So
Fast
Is that car wash next?
yeah. You know that you're not the first person to mention that. So no, we don't own that.
Did the city bought that?
We bought the Casey site. Yes.
What's the?
That's great.
What are you going to do then?
Well, this years ago in the 70s when that building was built, it was built on top of a sanitary sewer. And we were unable to do anything with that sanitary sewer because there was a building sitting there. So our thought was to get the property bought when it came up for sale, tear the building down and do those underground, get everything back to the way it should be. And then possibly resell the property in the future, commercial. So
You're not going to make a park there.
no,
Oh, it's
that's
right.
not that. Well, as
That'd
right
be a hard
now,
one
no.
to get to safely.
Nothing is better than some things.
I mean, who knows? But that was a lot of the drive behind that. So, yep. Anyway,
Is is that car wash like dependent on
Like
that
it's
property,
rotting.
like
It's,
doing the work
rotting.
that
It
you
needs
want to
go.
do?
yeah, I don't think that is contingent on that. So no.
Okay.
It's just privately owned.
It's just gonna sit
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yep. Car wash is
Okay.
privately owned. And been continue work on the FY 24-25 budget. Just a lot of planning, trying to prioritize. Things change. Trails, we've included a lot of new connections in the CIP. We'll see where it all lands. I have a budget meeting with city admin on coming up on the 19th to present my operating budget, kind of go over to the capital improvements projects budget, and just see where it all lands. So other than that, it's just been kind of where we're at right now. So
I thought I saw an email that went out from maybe the parks or the city this today, and then another one went out right after it that had something about that they got a Des Moines award. Can you?
yeah, I just heard a little bit about that. So we had, this is just, I don't know everything on it, but we had to come up with a certain amount of funds to get this
Matching,
grant.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because what it read, it was kind of an odd little
yeah.
addendum.
But we had
it
to
was
get
like we have to
prior-
have matching.
Yeah, that's in addition from
Uh-huh.
from what I understand.
Oh,
So we have fundraised. We've, like Riverside Casino and Green State, and all those have given money, which helped us get this grant, this $900,000 grant. So, but from what I'm seeing, we have to come up with another $100,000 to get that $900,000
and
grant.
didn't it
So,
look like it needed to be done rather quickly?
yeah, like in 90
Like
days.
90 days.
90 days.
Yeah.
90 days.
Yeah.
So are the people on that project feeling like that's possible?
I would assume so. I hope so.
We hope so out there,
Yeah, we
people.
hope so.
Okay, because I just
Yeah.
remember seeing that number and thinking,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah, what's publicized just this evening is it's an Enhance Iowa
Yeah.
grant of 900,000 with the
It's
stipulation that
fantastic.
100,000 is raised within 90 days. So I think with this community and with the people working toward that, I think we feel pretty confident
Yeah.
that will happen. But we want to get out, the
Encourage
community
everyone to
support
donate.
is welcome. So
Because that's a huge, grant that would help
Yeah.
support the community.
It's actually a very generous match percent. I mean, usually they'll do 50-50 or
Yeah.
so that's actually good.
It's just a time limit, which is
Yeah.
it's a little difficult. But hey, it's the holidays. Everyone can make their
Yeah.
Right. Being the giving spirit.
be.
yeah. But within the last few days, there've been some very positive
Yes.
steps.
That's
towards,
exciting.
So anyway, Julian Miller from our communications department's been very instrumental in all this fundraising. She's been excellent. She's doing a
It's amazing.
fantastic job on fundraising.
Good for her.
And they seemed positive when I saw them this afternoon
Yeah.
when they came back from
That's
Des
great.
Moines.
Mhm.
So
Great.
as far as, hopefully they have some leads and ideas on that 90 days
Yeah.
and
Well, they
getting
were
that
very
funding.
excited in the picture on the webpage.
Well, they're killing. Yeah, they're killing it. I mean, good for them.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
I'm sure they have
Yeah.
a plan.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, that's for sure. So
And part of that, because their Parks Department does a good job keeping our parks and our community looking good and keep growing and wanting nice things. We want to. That is going to be a tremendous boost for the community. Any other questions, comments for Guy? Good information
Appreciate
tonight.
the pictures as always.
yeah, it's pictures worth 1,000 words.
Yeah,
Well, I always
nice.
think so.
We keep looking for Brian's pictures, but I
Don't have any.
don't see
Well,
them.
there's the
I don't
new
have
one.
any yet.
I didn't look at that. So
Now that I see below here something you're going to announce here pretty soon. So.
yeah.
I know. So
We'll work on someday get those pictures so they can be projected or whatever. So thanks, Guy. Okay, Shelley, we'll move right along to the rec report.
Yep. In November, our rec staff is busy with some holiday events. There's the turkey medallion scavenger hunt, and that is still going on. So a lot of people partake in that. And if you follow that on Facebook or anything, people have a lot of fun trying to find those out within the community. Matt Messick is running that event, and he's also planning this time of year in the month of November for the December events, which was Elf on the Shelf, Breakfast with Santa, and the Vendor Fair, which was just last Saturday.
How was that attendance wise, and was it good?
Yeah, he was happy with turnout from what I understand. So continues to be one of the bigger community events out there that we host at the Recreation Center. So he does a great job on that. And then he also, this will be the second year of Matt doing the Santa's Workshop, and that's going to be held within the Rec Center. He sets up a couple of our rooms on the main level into like different activity scenes and stuff. So you'll have to stop by and take a look at the Santa's Workshop at the Rec Center. So Matt also does most of the decorations within the Recreation Center and then around town too. He put up some trees, lights, etc. So that is all Matt, if you're wondering who does some of our decorations within the Rec Center and around the community. We also work on the Winter Spring Activity Guide during the month of November that covers January through April programming. And so we got that all good to go to get out to the public. And then registration actually started the first week in December 4th, for registering for those January through April programming. And continues to be always that first week in December, a busy registration period. So you'll see that probably in my next month's report when we get that tallied all up. At the end of November, we did have interviews for our full-time custodial maintenance position. We had about 30 applicants and interviewed 8 individuals, and we're hoping to make some decisions here by the end of the week, middle of next month or next week at the latest. So just working on budget stuff, turning those into City Hall, some meetings coming up with city administration and with City Council coming up for budget fiscal year 25. So that's about what keeps us busy in the month of November. Rest of my report is pretty normal, just summary reports, revenue reports. So if you have any questions, I'm open to questions.
I had a question just about budgeting. So do each department has like a separate meeting with, is that how it's structured rather than kind of everybody together? Okay, that makes sense.
And then we all get together at a council meeting, and then we come up one by one when it's our turn to
Oh,
talk. So,
okay.
but we pretty much have things hashed out prior to
By then,
Yeah,
yeah.
by then, and then they have a lot of questions and stuff for us.
Sure.
So
Okay, I wonder how that worked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know. Brian, did you have anything else to add?
I do not.
Okay.
I did want to mention about, since I haven't been to the last couple meetings, the Halloween thing around Liberty Center Pond.
Yes.
Awesome. I thought
That
that was
was
great.
also an event that Matt Messick takes the lead on.
Good job, Matt.
He likes these large community events. At least in one aspect, he likes them. I don't know. During the event, he
Stressed.
might be a little
Yeah.
stressed, but
Keeps doing them, so
he keeps doing
must
them
like
and
it.
wants to, and takes them under his wing. And
Aw.
when I always ask, "Do you need any assistance?" he's like, "Nope, got it." So I'm like, "Okay,
That's
I
rad.
won't help unless you ask for it." So, but yeah, that's
Are we gonna
that's
have
another
a-
one huge community event that has become very popular. We might go 2 nights,
Okay.
just because of the demand, and especially if the weather's nice.
Sure.
Um,
Well, that always
Makes
helps.
a
which
huge
was this last
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
time
perfect.
we delayed it, postponed it a week, and then it turned out to be beautiful weather. And then he's thinking that he'll probably do it 2 nights just because
Was
of
the
the demand.
midday kind of, was
Yeah.
that attended well, or?
Yeah, that went well, too. Yep.
Comparatively.
It was cooler. It
Yep.
was actually cooler in the afternoon than it was
Really?
at night.
Than it
At
was
night
at night.
really nice. Yeah, the wind went down and it was a little windier in the afternoon, but at
Sure.
night it was nice.
We're going to have winter lights around the Liberty Center this year.
That is, yeah, part of Beat the
Gonna be
Bitter.
coming up with
Yep,
Beat
that's
the Bitter
gonna
time.
be
I
happening
guess that
again.
is.
Yep.
Mhm. Yes. A lot of good things going on all around us. Again, we encourage anyone, check the website. If you know any of your friends or neighbors don't have access to the website, share with them the information. I mean, always stop by the rec center and pick up information about what's going on. So, okay, we have some community members with us tonight. So what anybody that wants to speak, you step up to the podium and identify yourself, and we're ready. Welcome to hear from you. Welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm Eva Anderson, and I'm just going to introduce my neighbors. There's 4 of us from Quail Creek neighborhood, which is pretty much where we are right now because our neighborhood extends from Fairway grocery store and down through the golf course and from Jones to 965. So I am a neighborhood ambassador, and one of the first things that came up when the neighborhood ambassador program came up, just talking to neighbors, how can we better our neighborhood on my cul-de-sac, which is Pebble Court, we started discussing the traffic circle. So if you have reason to go on Fairview Lane right here, east-west, there's a small traffic circle, and it's pretty much looked the same for the last 20 years. And we are just loving what North Liberty is doing around the community. We've been coveting the beautiful landscaping and just had some ideas about maybe we could beautify our traffic circle in Quail Creek. So that's one of the reasons we're here tonight. Wanted to chat about that. Guy is very familiar. Guy's been incredible with communicating with me via email. So there's been progress, but we understand the budget concerns of the city, and so it hasn't met or been able to be in the budget yet. That's all I'll share, and then I'm going to have Michelle come up, share a little bit more about the traffic circle, and then John and Beth will share more about Freedom Park, which is also in our neighborhood. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Eva.
Hi there. I'm Michelle Edwards. I as well I'm Eva's neighbor, and I live on Pebble Court as well. I have not been in that neighborhood quite as long as Eva has, so I just recently learned that it's been there as long as it has. But it's been there. There's a couple bushes in there that could use some maintenance and could use just a little beautifying if we could. And I think it would help kind of just glam up the neighborhood. So, yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I may, I'd add, I also live on Fairview Lane and drive past that every single day, and agree that, should there be resources available, it would be a small project that would have a big impact. It's really at a nice crossroads where it'd be very noticeable. And I think we're going to get more and more traffic on Fairview as the hospital opens. So,
Is there any consideration at all to taking it out?
good question.
That the whole intersection had to be redesigned, and it costs a lot of money. I've already asked that question, so
So probably
That's-
easier to
that's,
put in some nice plants.
it's not going to happen.
Okay.
That'd be taken out.
Sure.
Well, and
It'll
yeah,
stay. Yeah.
but that would make it look a lot nicer. Just cared for.
Well, I don't know how others feel, but I'm glad it's there because there's already a bit of a speeding
Mm-hmm.
issue on Fairview,
Okay.
and it at least helps slow down at that intersection. functional?
Maybe I kind of forgot this is also a chance to ask questions. So before we talk about Freedom Park, just the process, I'm hearing you say about the budget meeting that's this month, right? So do you think, just tell us about the process of if we want to go gung-ho with this. I mean, we're willing to petition the neighborhood. We just probably need some time, and this isn't the greatest time of the year to do that sort of thing. If the neighbors could contribute to the project, we've talked about that. I don't know if you guys can think of the flower garden that's near Stella's by Kinnick. Does that little triangle? Do you know what I'm talking about? But
Yeah.
I think there's a community group there that works on that little space.
And that looks great.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's small. I don't know that we could do something like that. But as far as even getting quotes, I know that there's certain ways that has to happen. So, Guy, could you just update us on? Did we even? I know we got as far as one quote, but yeah, what do you think the realistically to get it through for this next year, or is this something we should shoot for a year after?
Well, I recently put the bug in our city manager's ear, and so he knows we're going to talk about it when I go in on the 19th to talk about my budget.
Great. Mhm.
However, it's doesn't really fall in the realm of the parks budget because it's more of a street project.
Sure.
So we're going to go from there, and I'm going to talk about it. So we'll see where it goes.
Wonderful.
I mean, it seemed pretty positive last time I talked, so maybe
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Guy.
Yeah. I even thought about because I mean it's really not would not be that big of a project. Maybe that's something that the Parks Department could assist with, because I mean those are things that we do as far as landscaping go. It's just we need to get some funds to go along with that to pay for the plant material, the ground cover. I know we're probably going to update the signs there, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna see how this budget goes. And
Okay.
You know how much
Okay.
money you're talking, or how much you think it's going to take?
well, we had a bid from a local landscaper to do that project, and it was around between $5,000 and $6,000. But that's probably a year and a half, 2 years old, maybe year and a half old, maybe the bid. So
And they're also I don't know if I should say that, but they would,
yeah, they live close.
they live close by, shall we say. So they would,
Mhm.
enjoy seeing that beautified as well. All right. John and Beth may have
Thank
some
you.
more questions.
Thanks, Guy.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is John Wise, and with my wife Beth, we've lived in North Liberty for 23 years on St. Andrews Drive, so we're part of the Quail Creek neighborhood as well. We've been in the neighborhood a long time. We consider Freedom Park one of our neighborhood parks. A lot of people enjoy it, especially fishing in the pond. You see a lot of the neighbors and kids and stuff out there fishing. So we've enjoyed that over the years. And once they formed the neighborhood association, we went there with the idea that we'd talk about how to improve our park a little bit. So we have about 20 members right now that are kind of in our friends group, and we've done a couple things. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Goldsmith. He's done a great job of helping us out whenever we've asked him for something. He's done it. We did a cleanup this year on Earth Day. So we collected a bunch of garbage that was all over the park, especially in the pond. It was kind of interesting. You expect the usual pop cans and water bottles and stuff in the pond, but we pulled out golf clubs and fishing poles and all kinds of other things that end up in that pond. I don't know how they get there, but they do. And then, of course, earlier this year, we also saw some wild parsnip, which can be poisonous to some dogs. And we asked Mr. Goldsmith to remove it. And of course, he did. We thank him for that. And then every year, you might notice that there's Christmas trees on the pond. Mm-hmm. One of our neighbors likes to collect the Christmas trees from some of us, the natural ones, and he puts them on the pond. And then when they melt into the ice and then they form on the bottom, they create fish habitat, which is maybe why it's a good fishing hole. But so we plan on doing that in the future. We plan on continuing doing a couple cleanups, maybe throughout the year, and then, of course, maybe habitat. But we'd like to do other things too. We just don't know what. But I guess the idea for tonight is maybe ask, we don't know what the future plans are for the park. So we would like to know, is there anything that we as a neighborhood should know about the park? Is there going to be any improvements or construction or anything like that done to upgrade the park a little bit more?
Yep. Freedom Park is in my CIP. It's probably maybe 2 years out. So it's going to be very similar to what we are doing out there at Fox Run with the connecting all the connections that come between the houses with a trail, and that will tie into Jones Boulevard. So we should make those connections with trail. We have been kind of batting back and forth on if there's enough room to put like a small playground, if you can get it far enough away from the pond. I've heard from two sides, people that want it and people that are afraid that a playground too close to the pond might be dangerous. So we have to consider that too. But I think, like I say, it's probably, I think it's a FY 26 when I have that slated, but we'll see where that falls. But yes, there are improvements planned, those type of improvements.
And how would we as a neighborhood help, provide input to that plan? Or is it strictly something the city does on its own?
When the time comes, we could. Yes. Normally we bring Shive Hattery in. They're our engineering firm. They'll come up with a plan on how we should make all the connectivity. If there's any stormwater components that need to go along with that, we need to make sure that by putting those in, we're not, blocking the flow of water to the pond. But yes, when the time comes, we could ask for public input on, especially when it comes if we want to put a playground in or something like that to go along with it. But I'd say we're not this year, but the following year we'd be talking about it a little more.
Is there things that you guys want to have at that park? Or what's your grand ideas of what you think should be there?
Well, you do get a lot of input when you ask for it, right?
Yeah.
So, and some people have grandiose ideas of maybe playground equipment. Some people want more natural areas. I think the fishing is a major draw, and if there's ways to improve the fishing, maybe with some, piers or something that people could stand on, or maybe for the handicapped people or something like that they could use it. I mean, we've had little ideas like that, nothing grandiose. I mean, I think the idea is we want to start to engage the board more and be able to provide that input when we can. And like Eva said, I think there's enough people in the neighborhood that even would contribute to things. If there's flowers that want to be planted or natural areas that need trees or something, we could, there's enough people that would help with that too. So we just wanted to provide that input, let you know who we are and what we're up to. So.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you mentioned, the playground and the pond. Are there any guidelines for that out there and any of, how close or how playgrounds can be?
Not
By
that
water?
not that I'm
No,
aware of.
no laws or whatever you just have to be practical.
Yeah, I
and
mean, it's
safe.
common sense.
Yeah.
A lot of that goes along hand in hand.
Is there any seating out there right now? Is there a bench or anything? It's seating free. Okay.
Currently, no. That would definitely be something that would go in with the trail. Once we get that, there'll definitely be some benches along with that.
Sure.
So
I see so many kids fishing there, and I think of like the grandparents or parents who would come along if there was a place to sit and watch the kids.
majority of our benches that you see around town have been purchased by families, individuals as memorial benches.
Oh, that's
So-
something good for them to know. If you're looking for
Yeah.
like how the community could contribute, that might be something that would be an easy route for donation.
Yeah, I'd say 90% of our benches have been memorial benches. Yeah.
What would be the cost of that if somebody were to say, "Hey, I did receive some memorial money,
Mhm.
I'd like to contribute"? What would be a ballpark?
Well, the last one we've done this season, it's around $2,000, but we have to pour a concrete pad, and the bench is $1,000. I normally send the folks to Harry's Custom Trophy in Coralville, and they just design a plaque for it. I mean, we have a standard size, and they know that down there, but they can get whatever they want on it. But yeah, that's kind of a program that has bought a lot of benches for the city of North Liberty. So that program.
Something I saw when I went to Pella this past weekend is they had a memorial bench for a young man who had been in the military, and they had like a little etching of his picture.
Mhm.
And I'd never seen that before, and I thought that was really nice, especially for someone that had died younger. And
Mhm.
I don't. It really struck me as a
Yeah.
nice thing to do, and they did it by their playground.
Yeah.
Sort of in their recreation area. So I thought that might be a nice idea.
Yeah. Benches work great for memorial. because you can put a plaque on them. A lot of people want to plant like a tree, but it's very difficult to maintain a plaque next to a tree. So
Oh, yeah,
that's why we've really promoted the benches.
sure.
So
And then people look at them. I mean, that's why I noticed,
Mhm.
this man, because I was, using the bench and, it gave me an opportunity to say, oh, who is this person? And it's really nice.
Well, thanks for your input. You get
One more related to the bench, if it's appropriate, like, is there any way to promote that in we have pretty active, I don't know, 160 neighbors in our Facebook group.
Mhm.
Is that something we could even initiate before the big plan, or do you think, like, if the memorial idea, is there anything about that on the website, or how would people learn about that?
Yeah, we could have something on the website that would go along with that. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a memorial bench. It can be like a donation, and it like donated by the
Family day.
yeah
The
by
Yeah,
Friends of the
neighborhood.
Freedom Park or
to
whatever.
share
Yeah,
with
exactly.
share with your group. I think it's
Yeah.
because it takes time to plan and do those things, but you plant the seed and people, and that'd be that is we like to see input from the area as to what you want, and that's been good that you've been here tonight and expressed that. We know that Guy works diligently to see, and the one thing that he does see is that things are done right and done nice. So I know it seems like it might take some time to get some things done, but when they're done well, and it's nice. So we hope that things go well in that, and the project, as other projects have come to be. We've all seen them in the community. It takes a while, but then they when they happen, they're finished and look really nice. So thanks for coming tonight.
Well, I do have one other question about that. So, I mean, I guess I feel like what you're saying is if I handed you a check today, how quickly could that happen? Or like, do you have to wait for the plan from Shai Pattery and the trail before you would do anything? Or how do we fast track getting a bench
You
or
mean
two
as
in
far
there? I
as the
think
bench
is that
goes?
kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could put a bench out there. However, it might get moved in the
Sure.
future to go along with that. But we could put a standalone one out there that wouldn't even be tied into that. If we want something closer to the pond, we've done that. Was it Fox Run Park? Yeah, you put one in out there. That's more of a standalone. But actually, they tied that in with this project. It did tie in with it. So, yeah,
Probably if you have
It would be doable.
it would. Yeah, benches can happen pretty fast. However, there's been like a 10-week waiting period for manufacturing.
Oh, to get the bench.
Sure. Well, but I mean, you're not going to do anything till the spring
Yeah.
or whatever anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
probably one if it was designated as a fishing bench that was down closer to
Well,
the
that's what I
pond,
was-
wouldn't
yeah.
interfere with
Yeah.
whenever you redid the
Yeah.
project or something. So there's ideas. So whatever. I wish you luck.
Anyway, maybe to circle back to the traffic circle, I'll talk about that during my budget meeting. However, we really wouldn't know anything until probably April, because that's when the budget would be approved. So I wouldn't be able to guarantee anything until that. But I could let you know when the time comes if it's a good possibility that traffic circle maybe able to get some improvements or not. So we'll see.
Stay in touch, and you're always welcome at these meetings.
Yep. And I want to say thank you for everything that everyone does. The cleanup efforts really does help our department out. It just saves so much time for staff. I mean, it's a tedious job, and it's reoccurring. It's just like you pick it up and then you go back out there, and it's all back again. It's like it's never ending. But we really do appreciate all that you do
Yes.
out
It
there.
would be funny to have a contest where you had strangest thing found.
Yeah.
Because I get with you on
Well,
the.
A lot of ponds in North Liberty where you could find things. Thanks, everybody. Okay, we've got some
Thank you.
Thank you.
upcoming events to announce. What do we got there?
As it states there, and I mentioned already that registration started this past week. And so I will report that in my December report on how registration went. And then coming up on Saturdays in January is when Brian's, the Tri-City, I guess I would call it, Supreme League start basketball on Saturdays at the rec center. So it's just that time of year of getting chaotic.
Is that the Tiffin Corville?
In Coralville.
And
Yeah.
North Liberty?
There's a lot of kids.
I was going to say, there have to
I
be
think
a
it's the most kids
ton.
we've ever
Yeah.
had this year sign up in North Liberty.
Yeah.
There's like 140 just first and second grade boys alone.
Good Lord.
yeah,
Is that
it's-
just because the population is growing?
It's it's a lot.
Remember,
It's a lot.
there's a lot. They're
NIL?
coming.
It's all
Signed up
NIL.
this year. I would say that's the most since I've been here.
They're
sign up,
prepping
so.
for it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Coming of age. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we'll move along to new business. And our first item on new business is Kevin's resignation. So.
Yeah. I'm going to have to resign. We've had a second child, and I just don't have as much time as I used to have. So thank you to everyone for having me. Thanks to the city and the citizens, and I will be watching.
We thank you, yes, and
I will
tune
be,
in. And
I will be waiting for Brian's pictures.
I was going to say we were going to start next month, and now
Oh, that's
it's all fallen through right here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll miss you, Kevin. Thank you for
Yes.
your service.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the baby.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, everybody.
So as I understand, then the mayor will be making appointments in January. For Jamie, will there be
Actually,
two?
at the December meeting for council, we did have two applicants for Jamie's position. And so the last I had heard is I think they were just going to approve both
Oh.
applicants at the December 12th meeting to have them then start in the January meeting.
Oh, that's great. Perfect.
Great.
Thanks again, Kevin. Appreciate
Thank
getting to
you.
know you and having you help serve with us. Okay. So any old business to come before us? I think we've taken care of everything.
The only
Oh.
thing I had down was did we have to cover anything with Fox, the playground?
No,
that last meeting?
We're all good with the playground. Like I say, it's been ordered. We got a healthy discount, which is great.
And
We're under budget, and we have it scheduled to be put in.
When is it going to be installed?
August, I think the week of August 27th.
Oh, wow.
So that gives our a concrete contractor that just was awarded the bid.
Time to.
It's in the contract. If they don't get it in, then they get fined per day.
Oh, nice.
So they have to have that playground border in there. So I can have the playground contractor come in and install that. So hopefully they can be both working on both projects at the same time. And maybe we can have a grand opening. Rather than waiting till fall when the concrete gets done, and then I'd have to wait until spring to get the playground in. So I'm just trying to make it all happen at once.
That would be super fun to have a grand opening and have the kids show up.
Yeah.
How long is the playground installation supposed to take?
2 weeks. So about a week to put the playground in, and then about another week to get the surfacing and all weather contingent.
Sure.
But yeah, I always say about 2 weeks to get that done.
It's-
And we'll have the pour in place surfacing. It will not have wood chips. So it's going to be very similar to, it will be very similar to the surfacing that's at Centennial Park. So my goal is to, every playground that we put in now is going to have that surfacing in. It's been around long enough. It's the life expectancy is 20 years plus. So I know people have the beginning like longevity in Iowa winters, but it's been holding up really well. So
Is there some sort of warranty with that?
yes, installation warranty is say where the rubber molds to the concrete. If that would separate and pull away, that they'll come back in and re-glue it.
Mm.
So
How long? How long do they say?
it all depends, I suppose. I guess I didn't really get into that. I know you have a year warranty for sure,
Okay.
but we build a shelf into that concrete. It's not necessary, but it's a lower lip. Say you have your border, your sidewalk around the playground, and then we have a lip down like 3 inches, and that rubber comes and sits on top of it. So it has a place to go up and down with the concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's not necessarily do, but that's the way I want to do it. And it's really worked out well at Centennial Park. I haven't seen any kind of separation or heaving or anything like that with that. So
Great.
I'd rather overbuild it than
Yeah, no.
So,
It's like
Yeah.
Richard said, you do it
Yep.
well.
Do it well. Yeah.
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 Awesome.
Well, yeah, so Fox Run project, probably after a long, hard winter, you'll really start seeing progress over there. That's good. That's good. Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I will second.
Yes.
Gotta give that to Kevin.
Any objection to adjournment? Next meeting, Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Meeting adjourned.